gonna backstab type, 5 and streaming red type, 1 candy mad type, Twitch is hentai. Duh!
Oh, this is his other channel. Hasan Piker actually arrested. Just now, Hasan Piker has officially lost all of his viewers. He's done. Just now, Hasan Piker quit streaming. His audience turned on him. Hasan Piker is 904% cooked now. Hasan Piker is actually going to jail. This is just from 2 months ago. You are dumber than dirt. You should be ritualistically humiliated. These are all 40 minutes long. What could this guy possibly be talking about? What the hell is this?
You will pet me, whether you like it or not.
Here is one of the impacts of Woke 2.0. Tectone, thank you for releasing this before I return to streaming. It's okay, man. You'll get to aggressively goon to it in preparation for the reaction when you return. This guy Mujin apparently was like one of the warriors of Tectone, also known as Tone, and he's cutting ties with Tone after the court findings came out that proved in a civil proceeding that Tone had actually sexually assaulted and stalked and harassed his former partner. And it was such a indictment. It was such a indictment that like he got a 10-year, he got hit with basically something that is very difficult to get, in the state of Texas. He can't own a gun for 10 years. He can't be around his ex for 10 years. He can't talk about his ex for 10 years. A 10-year protective order, which is very difficult to achieve. Like, you must have done some really up shit, right? So yeah, all of his guns are taken away from him for 10 years. He can't even be in possession of a gun. If he is in possession of a gun, that is a serious criminal charge. He will go to prison. If he has any photos of his ex on his phone, he can be criminally indicted, right? So yeah, I work as a victim advocate and wrote a lot of affidavits. Getting 10 years and guns removed is insane. In the state of Texas, mind you. Okay, remember that too. It's not like these are woke courts, okay? So, yeah, I used to be a Mujin fan when I was wrongly under the assumption that he was actually objective. Then he made that video on you and kept bringing it up. So yeah, nah, like that. Yeah, I don't know who the this guy is. I don't know who the this guy is at all. But what's really interesting is he basically just like goes through the motions and talks about how he's like, oh, I'm cutting ties with him, all this shit, right? And at the end, throws, and fun fact, you can just like Hasan Miskiv and Tectone at the same time. This isn't a football match. Stop being tribal like a Neanderthal and make your own decisions. It's like, who the is this guy? And also, why the is he still saying me? Like, what do you mean? How am I even brought up in this situation? What is wrong with these dude? I don't even understand. I don't even know who the these guys are. Anyway, so this guy Banyan says, liar, you knew about this for more than a year, but you continue to respond and support Tectone up until a month ago. You lying sack of shit. Yeah, you totally didn't say anything because you were just pretending to be Tectone's friend for safety law. To which I reply with, did that still take jabs at me at the end of his I'm sorry for defending Tectone post? Do these people experience shame at all? It's like, who are these people? Why are there so many drama slop tubers who present themselves as like objective arbiters of the truth, and all they do is just cut right-wing slopaganda with regular frequency? What the hell is this? And then even after this guy that they've defended has been outed for doing heinous shit, they still turn around and go, actually, you know what though? It's still Hasan all day, every day. I don't even know who you are. What is going on? This should be an opportunity for you to really reconsider the allegiances that you've made. This is an opportunity for you to basically reconsider like your worldview in general. It doesn't make any sense. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. You have to realize hating on you is right-wing virtue signaling. I don't like that in general because I feel like it's so stupid for people to hyper focus on like an individual content creator and then base their entire worldview off of that. But I guess a lot of these people are stupid, right? Because like if you don't have any ideological convictions of your own, if you have no moral backbone of your own, if you have no consistency in your worldview, if you have no future vision whatsoever, and like you just anchor everything around like individual content creators that you hate, that's not a sign of great intellect. Okay, that's, as a matter of fact, in my opinion, that's a sign of being a moron. Okay, you need to stop doing this. Read a book, please. They had a Hasan podcast together, man.
I genuinely do believe that Hasan is one of the worst people on the internet. And the reason I say that is that he is a closeted anti-Semite. It really doesn't.
Oh, brother. What the f? This is the most Israeli coded podcast of all time, by the way. Oh my God. I mean, this dude literally moved to Israel. Okay. Lolicon enjoyer. I don't know what the f this is. I assume, is this the same thing as this thing? The Israeli Justice League, man. The Israeli Injustice League. Tel Aviv radio shows be like, it's just like, I got one Mujian video recommended about SAG After Strike and immediately got mad because he was just so wrong. I just don't get it. Who the is watching these people and being like, these guys are brilliant, dude? Imagine watching this after an 8-hour shift at Jiffy Lube. I mean, I guess people are doing that. Doing that. Have to bring up the classic every time this guy's on stream. Yeah, this is this is the Israeli The Yard podcast. The Yard in Tel Aviv.
Twitch thoughts, giving teens bloody no sleeping. On stream still pulling views cleavage. On wherever I turn, but I watch for the plot. Typing with one hand on the key, streamers talk.
This person made this, okay? This person who is now living in Israel, which might not be a surprise to you, made this, okay? This is another one of my, like, Hasan is 1000% done, guys, okay? Where is it? I need to show you the best part, though, where he defends Dr. Disrespect. Where is it? Do we know where it is? The Israeli dude is still defending Tectone. Nooks Taco claims that Miski lied about Tectone. Hey, Nooks Taco, remember when you used to hang out with Shadman and use art in your thumbnails? Weird pedophile. Like, what? We need shame, man. We need shame. We need to bring back shame a little bit because
pimping out your greedy witch thought, tier 3 grabbing bitch thought, pimping out your simp thought. I'm the chat type, not gonna backstab type, 5 and streaming red type, 1K Andy mad type. Twitch is hentai. Duh! Twitch is hentai.
Where's the Dr. Disrespect part? This is the best part.
Duh.
It's coming. He defends Dr. Disrespect in this too.
Why did y'all ban Dr. Disrespect? Big advocate of absolute and true gender equality.
So, will you guys be shocked to find out that Nooks Taco is one of these guys? Reacting to if Allah is actually the pagan idol Baal. What the? Reacting to relevant politics of Warhammer 40k. It broke me. Reacting to the truth about Black Stone of Islam. How is this not paganism? Reacting to why the Crusades were awesome, actually. Reacting to what the Quran says about Christians. Islam is wild. And before he did this Islam pivot, just now, Hasan Piker R-worded in public. Before that, he spent months and months doing unlimited, like, Hasan is going to fall apart any moment now type videos. From Israel, by the way. That's not even a joke. He literally, post-October 7, went to Israel, and I think his cousin might have died on October 7 or something, or maybe after October 7, and he moved back to Israel, and he has spent most of his time, I don't know, being an advocate for pedophilia, and simultaneously, oh, there's another channel. This is not the one. This guy used to do anime reacts. Oh, this is his other channel. Hasan Piker actually arrested. Just now, Hasan Piker has officially lost all of his viewers. He's done. Just now, Hasan Piker quit streaming. His audience turned on him. Hasan Piker is 904% cooked now. Hasan Piker finally getting deported. Hasan Piker is 901% cooked now. Now official, Hasan Piker is going to jail. Antifa is a terrorist organization. Hasan Piker is 903% cooked now. Hasan Piker is actually going to jail. This is just from 2 months ago. Just now, Hasan is finally going to jail. He's 666% done. 1 hour ago, Hasan Piker is officially going to jail. Just now, Hasan is 640% getting arrested. It's finally official. Just now, Hasan is finally getting sued. He's 660%. Hasan Piker is 140% now. Hasan Piker is 370% now. Hasan Piker wants me dead. What the? Hasan Piker is 390% now. Hasan Piker is 110% now. Hasan responded to my lawsuit. He's 540% done. Hasan Piker is 160% now. Just now, Hasan Piker can never recover from this. He's 760% done. Just now, Hasan Piker dragged to Congress after Charlie Kirk's shooting. Hasan Piker is 285% now. Bro, you are schizophrenic if you watch this stuff and you just like, what planet are you living on? This is why I was saying, like, and there's a decent amount of, he sued you? No, man, he didn't sue me. What are you talking about? I don't know anything about this person other than the fact that I know he's Israeli. That's it. And he likes like drawn pedophilia art. That's all I know about this. When I say there is an entire cottage industry of like this, what's the other one? There's the Pegasus one. Like, I'm serious. These guys are all like super pro Tectone, super pro Asmongold. Like, these guys, all they do is this. This is all they do. Look, more Pegasus. I hate the rich. Hasan Orbiter's just up bad. Hasan just had another meltdown. Oh my God, this is what this guy looks like.
Welcome back to a series so nautical. Investment in politics and are simply making money from our homes? I mean, yeah, thanks. He's crashing out at streamer Destiny after he said he was worse than Hitler. He's schizo ranting, claiming that Destiny is secretly controlling all of us and we're following.
When people come into my chat and say, bro, this guy owned you, this is who you're openly admitting. This is who you're openly admitting you're watching. That's crazy. Hasan is not doing well. Hasan is very mad at his friends. Don't know what any of this stuff is. These guys have like an entirely separate universe. It's over. Hasan actually got humiliated. Hasan is actually losing it. Hasan accidentally exposed him big time. Hasan just up real bad. This is just 2 weeks, okay? 2 weeks worth of content so far. I'm broke. Hasan has actually lost it. Hasan's friends are abandoning him now. Hasan just up really bad. Hasan has completely lost it now. Hasan's fans are finally leaving him. Hasan is actually losing everything. Hasan is quitting streaming in 2026. The Hasan allegations are insane. Hasan just had a legendary meltdown. She accidentally exposed Hasan. They pay attention to your sub count. What sub count? Like on my YouTube or on my Twitch? Like, do you understand that this is an entire industry dedicated to this shit? How nuts is that? It's amazing how many otherwise left subreddits just seem to hate you. There's such an impressive ecosystem around the slop which deters normal people. You're not a normal person if you're on a left subreddit and you're getting your information from slop tubers like this and you think that these guys actually know what's up. I'm sorry, but if you watch a guy like this that has made this many videos and you think, oh wow, time to tune in to my objective news commentary person. Oh, wow. Look at Hasan. He is definitely panicking once again and completely once again. He got caught once again. Every other day, you are dumber than dirt. You should be ritualistically humiliated. These are all 40 minutes long. What could this guy possibly be talking about? What the hell is this? Hasan finally got banned. What do the comments say? He pronounces bidi bidi as bidi bidi, which someone pointed out in the comment section means electric shock in Japanese. The universe just hates this man, lol. Hasan, when China bans him, guys, it's not a ban, trust me. Hasan, when America bans him, it's Israel's fault. I hope that Asmon multi-streams to bidi bidi and is successful. The crash out would be absolute cinema. So, like I said, I need you to, oh, you weren't watching? No, these videos all get like 200 to 300,000 views. And he's like uploading them, I assume, on like a weekly basis or something. But the reason why I'm showing you this is because there's an entire world out there of just like absolute weirdos, okay? All in the orbit of Tectone, all in the orbit of Asmongold that just eat so good off of like Hasan is going to collapse any moment now. And it doesn't even matter if it doesn't happen, right? Obviously it's not, you know, the thumbnail true. You're always calling us poor. Weekly, he uploads like 20 a month. What the are you talking about? Okay, that's even worse. That's even sadder than this. But what's crazy is, not gonna lie, he's racking in like 2K per video. No wonder he keeps farming you. I know. I kind of understand why people would do that. Because like, if you're making $2,000 a day off of this shit, you know, that's good money. Having said that, however, the secondary impact of this kind of stuff, like flooding the market of this kind of shit, is unironically people finding themselves in the throes of like defending, you know, people like Tectone, and also all of the ideology, the ideological baggage that comes along with it. Okay. And that's what's really annoying about it, because for these guys, they have no real investment in the world, right? They have no real investment in the world. They have no real understanding of ideology. They have no real understanding of politics. So most of them just like think that they're paying attention to politics by focusing on drama. And there are a lot of people like that. I know this community is not like that, and you guys get annoyed whenever I talk about this shit, But you have to understand, like, if you're wondering why your coworkers have this kind of attitude, this is where it comes from. Because let's be real, some of your coworkers are brain dead, and they want this like bubblegum pop politics. And the bubblegum pop politics is like, oh, famous socialist guy is a hypocrite and an awful person and an evil deity, right? But that's it. Most delusional people on Reddit have a karma of like 200,000. It's a pattern I keep recognizing. Yeah. Every time I see a thumbnail or a post about how you're crashing out, then I tune into the stream, lo and behold, you're normal. They think they can change reality if they constantly lie. Well, they can't change reality. But this also ties to a larger analysis that I conduct all the time, which is that if you never actually have an investment in finding out the truth, they just keep you going with a steady flow of slopaganda that doesn't necessarily have to be about the truth at all. And a lot of these guys can also get away with like saying, without saying they love Israel, they can get away with, just saying fuck Hasan. Or without saying they love Trump, they can get away with saying fuck Hasan. I'm an objective arbiter of the truth, but fuck Hasan, right? Because for a lot of these people, it's become I've become like this figurehead for them. It's very stupid. That shouldn't be the case. And you kind of see that sometimes where people will be like, oh, this guy's doing Hasan style politics when discussing like, someone who is an anti-Zionist. Like they'll be like, oh, Norm Finkelstein is Hasan pilled. It's like, no, man, I'm Norm Finkelstein pilled. Okay. I don't have the capacity to change Norm Finkelstein's perspective on the issue of Palestine. You are a delusional loser who doesn't understand anything. You don't have the brain of a sea cucumber if you think that like I'm the reason why Norm Finkelstein believes the things that he believes and not vice versa. Do you see what I mean? Like they have horse blinders on where everything is like TMZ drama focused, that they genuinely think like all these people that are long-standing advocates, activists, and all this long-standing advocates and activists and all this that are just like simply regurgitating talking points they got from me or something. You're a moron, Literally, it's almost like a hate cult at this point. Yeah. I feel like we glossed over how insane of a statement she probably just won in court by lying is. The fact that he can't bring himself to believe a victim even after winning in a court, all for Tectone of all people to say a lot about his character and views towards women. Yeah, I mean, this is just what it is. I think these guys are just like, their ideology is guided by their own personal vendetta against like women and all things that are representative of women. It's a really devastating situation. Obviously, if these guys were just, sticking to their own lane, playing video games and like saying things every now and then, that's one thing. It's not great even then, but it's really bad when a lot of young men tune into this stuff and it shapes their worldview. It shapes their worldview in a very unhealthy way where they think this kind of attitude is actually normal. This kind of attitude is appropriate, right? Yeah. How are they only now cutting ties? No way. There are real human beings who decided to turn against Tectone now of all times. Yeah. It's just like, it blows my mind that like it took this long for these guys to be like, yeah, this guy's a court sanctioned rapist, right? And there are still people who are defending him. Why are we covering slop tubers again? Are we going to talk about anything in the title today? No, as you know, 27-month subscriber. I usually spend most of my time only covering slop tubers. In any case, it's really sad that like a lot of people get their social cues from these like objectively antisocial weirdos who don't have any experience as real world adults at all, and they're basically farming an impressionable audience and teaching them the absolute worst way of seeing the world. They're not educated. They have they've done heinous things in many circumstances. They are participating and defending. They're defending people who have done sexual assaults and crimes of that sort. And it actually sucks that there are a lot of young impressionable men who think like, because their only understanding of the world is through like peer pressure and vibes, they think, oh, the vibes are good. These guys share my interests. I like anime. They like anime. They start watching because they're doing anime commentary. And then before they realize it, they are on the most insane right-wing rabbit hole, right? This is something that I have spent a good deal of time combating on the internet all the way back in like the Gamergate era when I was at the Young Turks from like 2013 onward. And I know exactly how this pipeline works because before I was like a large content creator, before I was like known as a person or was turned into this like deity of all things left on the internet for every dumbass who doesn't know how to read. Even back then, I saw these sorts of pipelines forming around specific points of culture, around certain interest groups, right? There's a sense of community that comes from like steady harassment and going after people that they believe are viable targets that are representative of like this ideology that they must oppose. And a lot of people get sucked into this right-wing pipeline, which is precisely the reason why it annoys me when people go, why are you talking about this? It's irrelevant. It's like, brother, it's not irrelevant. A lot of people still clearly watch this and they demand more of it. And people have to fight back against this, right? Because if people don't counter message against this stuff and you just kind of go, I'm just not going to look at that place. It's weird. It's gross. You actually lose a lot of young people. And then you're confused as to why so many young men turn out the way that they do. The people who watch this stuff don't vote. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If more and more of our existence is actually online, okay, and the narrative online has a capacity to actually change the truth on the ground, it has real world impact nowadays, then you have to also try and fix the narrative online as well. You have to fight back against it as well. Because simply saying, oh, these guys don't vote, it doesn't matter. They don't organize either. But the problem is there are maybe 10,000, maybe 100,000 young men that could have been veered away from this far-right pipeline that they're now on if someone actually plucked them early on and said, dude, this is gross. Don't do this shit. This guy's an idiot. Let me explain to you why. Now, of course, I'm not going to spend a good deal of time doing this kind of thing because I'm covering the news, right? And my audience is older. I'm covering the news. I'm more invested in doing that. I'm more invested in working with political campaigns, working with politicians, working with advocates, working with people on the ground. And for that reason, I can't like invest a lot of time and effort into this because otherwise this would be all consuming, right? I'd have to do a response to a Pegasus video on a daily fucking basis, right? But I wish that there was a larger commentary sphere out there that was actively trying to combat this kind of misinformation. Even if they don't defend me, I don't really give a shit, right? But don't you think you're making them relevant by talking about them? Brother, they already have relevance. You don't understand. These guys get like 300,000 views a pop. I just showed you a bunch of these different channels who are not only like pro-tone, but also pro-Israel. And they're getting like 300,000 views a pop, basically diluting a massive pool of people on the internet that is seemingly growing that thinks that the only... That genuinely thinks like opposing someone like myself or Morgan or all these other like left content creators is actually doing real act that was like actively working on the drama angle as well that pushed back against this kind of nonsense. And I do suspect that it will happen. It will happen soon because the cultural forces are shifting so dramatically in the direction of left politics and the direction of woke in general that a lot of these guys who haven't been criticized at all. A lot of these guys who haven't been criticized at all for the longest time have gotten too big for their britches. They've gotten way too confident. They're like, More Pegasus is not even American. He's an Indian living in Singapore. Oh my Lord. In any case, my point is, I'm big enough that I don't give a shit, right? I'm big enough. I have a large enough community, a community comprised of mostly adults, okay, that it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me necessarily that like I'm considered a lightning rod. I'm considered a lightning rod for this new version of Gamergate that's like anti-communist, anti-socialist, and anti-social in general. But I don't like that there are so many young people who get their political notes from these losers. And I recognize that there like someone has to call these people out, right? Someone has to call these people out, because if they don't, these guys are just going to keep doing this dumb, nonsensical. You're their cash cow because you don't sue them. Brother, what do you mean? I'm going to sue someone for saying I'm 1000% done. I'm going to jail. What are you, stupid? What a waste of time and money. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay.
Are you going to check out Mizkif today? Probably not. There isn't enough for a video. Other than a obviously very butthurt man talking about a situation that we don't know if he's telling the truth or not because the court documents didn't come out yet. And I know for a fact some of the things he said was a lie so far. So, again, I'm waiting for the court documents to come out. I'm waiting. I know things. From what I've heard, it's really not at all how it's being portrayed, but I don't know. I've only heard from biased sources, so I'm very open about the idea that I am waiting for the truth, or at least in a more objective analysis.
So I also have a principled stance on this too, where I think like it's kind of bitch made to sue someone unless it gets to a point of like direct physical harm and confrontation of that sort. So I do think it's like kind of silly to like go after people just because you don't like what they have to say about you. Not only do I think it's a waste of time, that's why I'm saying like I think the proper solution to this is like to have people with clear conscience. The proper solution to this is to have people fight back against this like misinformation in general, and not even like misinformation surrounding someone like myself necessarily, but just like misinformation about the way that these guys build a worldview. Because I know that there are definitely people who are having their minds changed right now, because it's impossible to avoid the reality that like the Trump administration is devastating, and all of these guys were pro-Trump, right? All of these guys are pro-right-wing, pro-Trump, all this shit. So for a lot of them, there's a lot of people in the margins who are now recognizing that this kind of stuff sucks. And eventually, those people are going to have to go after, the pro-Israel Nuxtakus of the world, right? And all of these other losers. And I think the starting point for something like that, this attitude change, this sea change, comes from the likes of Moist Critical, for example, right? Are you worried about losing a suit? No, I'm not worried about losing a suit. What are you talking about? I'm telling you, both the hogs are about to go feral. I mean, they are already going feral. So I think it's not, it's not good that there is this massive market. It sucks because like whenever I talk about this, it's very easy for people to just like write this off and say, oh, you just hate this because like these guys are calling you out. They're doing accountability. They're not. Like accountability politics of this sort is already stupid to begin with. And not only is accountability politics of this sort like incredibly stupid to begin with, but beyond that, it's demonstrably clear that I'm not, my career is not in the way that these guys try to present this alternative reality to their audiences. I'm more so invested in the politics that they're representing, because the way that they see it, they have no understanding of politics and policy in general. So they only have the only way that they can design their worldview is off of like attacking someone like myself as the representation of left politics. Okay, I don't really even understand that politics. It seems totally incoherent. It's just pure reactionary, like anti-women, pro-pedophilia in some instances, things of that nature. But my point is that hopefully more pushback will come, and I think it will eventually, because these guys have like eviscerated the commentary sphere. The commentary sphere is almost entirely right-wing now, center right to far right, basically. There is no like bread tube. There is nothing that counters these guys. Every single bread tuber that makes, one YouTube video essay that's like 11 hours long, does it once every 3 years at this point. So there's not really a lot of pushback on this kind of stuff. I mean, here, the greatest example of this, right? You said Papa Gut is pretty left-wing. Yeah, but he also participates in the exact same thing that I was just talking about. There are people who like present themselves as left-wing, and, more respect to them. But in many instances, they're like rabid anti-communist, rabid anti-socialist, and it doesn't make any sense, because then they're also still feeding into that like idiotic drama, right? They're still positioning themselves as like an ideological opponent to like progressive people. And the reason why they do that is because it's a reflection of the space, because you can't get ahead in this space, in the commentary sphere, without saying Hasan, without saying the left, right? That's my point. So even someone, I think, who like Papa Gut, who probably is a lot more intelligent than all these other people, they still have to make sure that they're like positioning themselves as like the reasonable lib on the internet. So there is a lot more room for growth on the left position on the internet. They have no way to attack the left without going after you, and their attacks against you hurt the left. We are forced to defend you to get the disgusting shit to talk about outside of the stream. You can fight it using us. Just direct us to where there is need to correct the record. Your significant representation of the left online is just the case. I know, it's so stupid, though, because it feels so dumb to be like, defend me, defend me. If you defend me, you defend the left. That's idiotic, right? I don't want to live in a world like that. But I am saying that that is low-key the way that these guys have designed the world on the internet, especially. And the reason why they've done so is because they have no understanding of politics at all. That's the reason why, like, it's all drama focused. Because, like, imagine in 30 minutes, I'm going to have David Dayen, the executive, the editor-in-chief of the American Prospect, in a segment I like to call the legislative war zone, or the legislative war room, whatever you want to call it, or legislative warfare. Okay, we're calling it legislative warfare. Like, can you imagine a world where Nux Taku or any number of these people, or Tectone or Mujin or whatever, are talking about the intricacies of what the Democrats could do within the political machine, or even someone like Papa Gut, right? Like, do you think those guys have any interest in stuff like that at all? No, of course not. And the only guy who has at least like a competent enough brain to understand this kind of, political machination is a sex pest who was outed for procuring CSAM and doesn't necessarily care about politics unless he can use the political disagreements as a weapon to wield against people who have hurt his feelings. That's it. Like, the only competent brained loser in this sphere is Sex Pestiny, ironically enough. And he is so personally invested in undermining people who have embarrassed him by either growing out of his sphere, like that lawyer guy Pisco, right? Or even someone like myself, or people who have destroyed him in a debate setting like Michael from Pennsylvania, that he just spends every waking moment attacking those guys, even though he does have the brain power to actually understand this stuff. Dog, I think they just relish in making you mad and drawing a reaction. They don't ever get that. They do it for the views. Yeah. It's just all ego and all spite for the sex pest. The only thing easier than grifting to the right is farming fuck us on segment. Yeah. So in any case, just wanted to do a quick shout out to that too. Like, we like to think that this stuff is like inconsequential or irrelevant, but the unfortunate byproduct of this is that there are a lot of people who are in these spaces that are like somewhat political or politically adjacent that we would never encounter in the real world, because we're like, you're obviously locked in. You're obviously invested in politics, and you understand policy, you understand advocacy, you understand, whatever is going on in the news because you're dialed in. But many people are not. Many people just like only have the capacity to follow what's going on in politics through drama around content creators. So I have become like this ideological beacon for all things left. And these guys actually do this reactionary commentary with regular frequency by saying fuck Hasan, by doing fuck Hasan content. Because that fuck Hasan content isn't actually about saying fuck Hasan. It's actually about saying socialism, communism, any kind of like left position beyond the Democratic Party, and even the Democratic Party, depending on where these guys are standing, right? So that's what it is. Better you than someone who couldn't tank it? Yeah, I mean, the secondary impact of that sort of is that it also causes people to stay silent, though. That's what I'm saying. Because they see the way that like people are up my asshole with regular frequency, and that makes them second guess whether or not they want to say something about ICE or say something about Donald Trump, okay? Because they see all of they see the hate that I get inundated with, and that causes them to participate in an environment of silence because there's stigma associated with the left position. This is something that I've tried to explain to people over and over again. I can tank it, but other people who see that who are smaller content creators, for example, go, maybe I shouldn't say anything because I don't want to get yelled at. I don't want to get like the worst possible people on the internet to like dox me and harass my family members and like friends and shit.
You will pet me, whether you like it or not.
The Piker Broadcasting Service is sponsored by you, the viewers, for you, the viewers. The Piker Broadcasting Service is where you get tomorrow's news today.
whether you like it or not.